This first song is it's called White Clay. I wrote it on a trip I took with a friend of mine who's here right now, Colin Peets. He plays under the name Plains. And we took a trip around Nebraska kind of with the goal of helping to rebrand the state and also show how where you come from can inspire and create stories from the land. So we set out to take this trip around Nebraska, writing and recording an album on the road. And this song's called White Clay. There's a town in northwestern Nebraska called White Clay, Nebraska, just across the South Dakota border from Pine Ridge Native Reservation. And when I say town, I use that term loosely because it's just liquor stores and bars. And there's recently been an article on NPR about how Anheuser-Busch is sort of feeding the disease that is this town, because these liquor stores and bars only cater to people from the reservation. There's not alcohol allowed on the reservation, but they will walk miles across the border to get it. It's very tragic, and there's not a lot of attention being paid to it, but that's what this song is about. Another one died today, laid out on the sidewalk. The tragedy of white clay. Fourth page, bottom corner. Walked across state lines to relive all the glory. Travel back in time. We rewrote all the history. No one takes the time. They're not gonna save you. Ignore it, they'll be fine. Leave the logs the same down in white clay. Down in white clay. I heard one got away. He's coming back to save them. Hear what he has to say. Stop cashing in and thieving. No one takes the time. They're not gonna save you. Ignore it, they'll be fine. Leave the law the same down in white clay. Down in white clay. No one takes the time. They're not gonna save you. down in white clay.
I have a question.
Okay.
One of the things we talked about a lot in film class is character development. On your Bandcamp page, it says that you had a calm, boring life in a small Midwestern town, and that drove you to pick up guitar when you were 15. Can you talk a bit about how picking up that guitar changed things for you when you were a teenager, and what other events or people changed your development as an artist and the style of music that you play?
Yeah. I mean, picking up that guitar changed everything about my life. Everything that was going to happen from that point on. I mean, I could have gone on to be a lawyer or a teacher or, whatever. And it just so happens that now I'm a bartender and a musician. I fell in love with it pretty much right away. I started playing music right around that time, 15, 16, teaching myself the guitar, played in a band. And then when I was about 19, I started really hitting the solo stuff hard. I had a few friends that were very influential in the type of music I started listening to, and I got introduced to alt folk and old folk and Mississippi John Hurt and Lead Belly and Neil Young, and then Damien Gerardo, who's been here, David Bazan, all those current alternative folk guys, or whatever they like to be called. And I figured out that storytelling was something that I really loved doing. I loved collecting stories from people and turning them into songs and seeing how they related to me, as opposed to just telling stories about myself, and then kind of leaving them all open to interpretation for everyone, even myself. And so, I think back to everybody I've met in the last 6 or 7 years, and anybody involved in music that I've met, and lots of people that that weren't involved with music, have really shaped me. Colin is a good friend of mine. We sit and talk about music all the time. We talk about the business of it. We talk about songs. We talk about the things we like as far as music goes. And every single conversation we've had has shaped me in some way. So it's always important, I think, on that note, to listen to the things that people have to say, and try and learn from them, because if I had my ears closed to a lot of the things that people have told me, whether I like them or not, really listening to people and taking a good look at myself and the music I'm making and being honest with myself about it, even if I don't like what somebody's opinion is on my music and what I'm making, I have to take it into consideration. And it all has sort of shaped me as a person. I oftentimes, lay in bed just staring at the ceiling, thinking about, like, man, what if I had never met that person, or what if I hadn't gone to this place that one day? I could be a totally different person. I could be, a manager at an office supply company or something. It's something that's not as exciting to me as what I do now. So I think that answers it. I don't know.